What is up, guys? Delboy here. I just wanted to make a preview video for one of these fights in the World Boxing Super Series. This fight goes down in the Cruiserweight division, and it is between the WBA interim champion Yunier Dorticos versus Dmitry Kudryashov. Now, I made a video about Marius Bradis versus Mike Perez. I felt that was one of the better fights in the early stages of this tournament, but I have to say, this is another great fight, and it's definitely a don't blink fight. You know, I highly doubt this fight will go the distance. I just doubt it. You know, neither guy is a defensive wizard, put it that way. Particularly Dmitry Kudryashov. I mean, let's look at both guys. I mean, Dorticos is undefeated, but he's not actually been that active recently, and he's only fought twice in the last sort of 30 months. So inactivity is a problem for Yunier Dorticos, and this is a big fight to go back into on the back of like not having many fights. You know, it's a tough fight to go into, and in his last fight against Yuri Kalenga, that fight was a war, and he got hurt several times in that fight. He took a lot of punishment. He did come through and win, but that fight showed he was defensively vulnerable, you know. But Dorticos is a good fighter in his own right. He's got a good chin, as we saw in that fight. He's got a lot of heart. He's got power. He's got some stamina. That fight proved he can go to war and come out on top. On the flip side, Kudryashov, we've seen him face adversity once against Duradola in the first fight, and he kind of crumbled. You know, he got caught a few times, he got hurt, and he kind of crumbled. You know, he's trying to do this almost shoulder roll type defense, and he looked totally out of his depth in the first fight, and he got stopped in that fight early. To his credit, he did come back and beat Duradola in the rematch by TKO, and he definitely coped with that better in the rematch. He did get caught still, but he definitely done a lot better defensively in the rematch. And he didn't panic quite as much when he got hit. So I definitely think Kudryashov has learnt a lot from that first defeat to Duradola. And in terms of momentum, although Kudryashov has a loss on his record, I still think he's coming into this fight with a lot more momentum. He's been more active. He's coming off 3 back-to-back wins, you know. He defeated the guy who was the only guy to beat him. So he's coming into this fight with some confidence and some activity. And I think he would definitely be encouraged by his last performance. Stylistically, I think this is just a hard fight to call because ultimately they've both got the power to knock each other out. I feel Dorticos is definitely the biggest puncher Kudryashov has fought. I think he's a bigger puncher than Ola Duradola, who stopped him. So it's going to be interesting to see how Kudryashov deals with that power, particularly if Dorticos can jump on him early, because that's ultimately what Duradola did in the first fight. If Dorticos could jump on Kudryashov early and try and blast him out of there, how's that going to work out? And likewise, Kudryashov is most definitely the biggest puncher Dorticos has fought, you know. And, you know, we saw how he reacted when Kalenga was catching him clean. So both of these guys can knock each other out, period. And I think it's going to be one of those fights where it's going to be a don't blink, and whoever lands first might even win this fight. You know, whoever lands that first significant punch, I could definitely see winning this fight. I think both guys are defensively flawed. You know, for example, Dorticos, to me, he's coming out of the orthodox stance, and every time he throws like a right hand, he kind of brings it back slowly, and he's slow to bring his shots back, in my opinion. And one thing Kudryashov does well, he does time the left hook relatively well. And if you could catch Dorticos, you know, bringing his punches back slowly, maybe he could get the knockout with a left hook. Having said that, Kudryashov is no defensive wizard either. In fact, he's worse than Dorticos. So yeah, I mean, Yunier Dorticos is not exactly going to find Kudryashov a hard target. You know, he's going to be there to be hit. Ultimately, I do think Dorticos is a better technician. He throws his shots better. You know, he just has better technique. He had a longer amateur background. Defensively, he's not great, but he's better than Kudryashov. Ultimately, I think he's a more well-rounded fighter than Kudryashov. He's a better boxer. He's got quicker hands, and he's just a more educated fighter. So I definitely make him favourite. But Kudryashov hits so hard that one mistake and you could get knocked out cold. We've seen Kudryashov knock many fighters out cold with that left hook, and it will take one mistake. So this is a type of fight where I can't pick a winner really. I will make a prediction video near the time, but I'm not confident in picking either guy here, because although I think Dorticos is a better fighter, defensively he'll give Kudryashov openings, and as I said, and as we all know, with Kudryashov it takes one shot. So it's an interesting one. I think it could be a war. Potentially it could be a fight of the year contender while it lasts, you know. And I'm looking forward to it. It's one of the better fights in the tournament so far. What do you guys think of it? Do you think Kudryashov is going to get the knockout win? Do you think Dorticos is going to get a knockout win? Could it go the distance? Could we all be shocked? I can't see this fight going a distance. So what do you guys think? Peace.